Evening everyone, brilliant to have Serie A back. What a day it's already been, and there's every chance that the best has been saved till last. Personally been looking forward to this game for weeks, a fixture of huge promise. The two top scoring sides in Serie A meet at what will be a fervent San Siro. Delighted to have the former Liverpool and Chelsea midfielder Nigel Spatman alongside me for this. As we begin by getting across the goals from the other games affecting the top end of the table today, we start, Nigel, with the champions. They were away at Salernitana, a potential...
Playing at the top of his game straight away, Tonali. A lot of injury problems, but when he's in form, so in Milan. And he's a wonderful player, and he's starting to put goals in his locker as well.
It did get a little bit more nervy for Milan than many might have expected, having watched the first half. Well taken at the far post, that by Federico Bonazzoli.
Yeah, really good finish from Bonazzoli at the far post, in behind the defenders. Good finish, but not enough.
There's another tight contest, just the one goal in the match between Cremonese and Juventus, decided by an injury time winner from Milik. But I would have thought the goalkeeper will be a bit disappointed with that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, when you see it again, Adam, Milik goes for goal. He's got to go for a direct shot, but the goalkeeper should push this round the post. He gets there late, but he's got to push this round the post. Dives under it, really.
Well, what of Lazio? Well, they went to Lecce.
Just get something on it, get something on it, and get the win.
What a great return to action that is for Lecce. Been a busy day, hasn't it? 10 games today, all brought to you live on BT Sport as well. 2 more to go. And after 51 long days, it's great to have Serie A back, isn't it? These, the two top scoring sides so far in Serie A this season, Inter and Napoli. We are hoping that they will serve up quite a contest. There is the table as it stands at the moment. Napoli's lead at the top reduced to 5 points because of that victory for Milan earlier today. Juventus have won as well, so they've just increased the pressure a little bit on Napoli, but they know that they can extend their lead over Inter to 14 points tonight with a victory, which would surely end Inter's chances of the title. It's a huge occasion at San Siro tonight. A lot of the onus, a lot of the pressure is on the home side, you'd have to say. There is every chance they're about to serve up these two clubs. A brilliant game of football. It's live from San Siro after this break. Welcome back, everyone. The atmosphere building nicely at San Siro. You can really detect an air of anticipation ahead of what is a fixture that has been looked forward to greatly, not least because we've had a 51-day break for Serie A, haven't we? But Nigel Spatman, who's alongside me, this could be anything, this game, couldn't it? I mean, these two sides, if they really go at it, they could produce a fantastic match.
Well, I think it'd be fantastic because Inter have really got to go for it. They can't afford to lose this game. Really, they need to win it. For Napoli, it's about, if they win this, it's a giant step towards the title. And they know that if they lose it, it starts to put a little bit of doubt in your mind going forward as well. But Milan really at home at San Siro, with the other results, with Milan winning, with Juventus winning, the pressure's on them. So they really need to go for it tonight. But both benches are strong, both teams are strong. This could be a classic tonight.
Yeah, it really could be. You're almost a little bit scared to build it up too much in case you jinx it, but all the ingredients are there. So many talented players, so many great individual battles as well, Nigel. I'm particularly intrigued by Darmian up against Kvaratskhelia, because Dumfries, well, he could have gone with Dumfries, but Darmian may be the better defensively. Perhaps that's part of the thinking, but there are individual battles like that all over the pitch that could have such a big bearing on the outcome tonight.
Absolutely, and I think you're absolutely right that with Darmian coming in there with his defensive now, they might miss Dumfries' attacking ability and relieving the pressure a little bit, but I think, you know, with the likes of Cherby coming in against, obviously, Osimhen, that's a big battle as well. Lobotka in the middle of the park, can he outboss Barella? It's going to be fascinating battles all over the pitch, but at least 9 out of 10 out of 11 of your players have got to play well tonight if you want to win this game.
Well, Napoli top of Serie A and the only unbeaten side left in the 5 major European leagues. Inter seek to end that run and breathe new life into their own title challenge Napoli aim to extend their unbeaten run in Serie A to 20 matches, but so much of the pressure and the onus here is on the home side. Lautaro Martinez, the World Cup winner, starts on the bench tonight for Inter. So a check on the team news. No Marcelo Brozovic for Inter, he's out with a muscle injury. World Cup winner Lautaro is fit and available, but not risked from the start. Lukaku makes his first Inter start since August and is partnered up front by Dzeko, who's been in good form during the recent friendlies. Matteo Darmian is preferred to Dumfries on the right-hand side. A big decision for Spalletti tonight was who to pair with Kim in central defence. Amir Rahmani gets the nod over Juan Jesus. It's Rahmani's first appearance since the 9th of October. He's been out with a tendon injury. Politano's preferred to Lozano on the right, and Oliveira is picked ahead of Mario Rui at left-back. A lot of the Italian papers predicted it would be Mario Rui who would start, but he is on the bench. Simone Sozza is our referee this evening. It is Michael Fabri who is in charge of VAR. Big decision to start that man tonight. He's got all four strikers fit and available finally now this season. Inzaghi, he's gone with Lukaku and Dzeko. Very interesting to see how Lukaku in particular performs. His first start, as I just said, for Inter since August. He thinks, Lukaku, that man there, Osimhen, is the best centre-forward in Italy right now. It's hard to argue with that. His form so far this season has been excellent. 7 goals in his last 6 Serie A appearances. He is the Serie A top scorer. Some final instructions here for Piotr Zielinski, who played for Poland at the World Cup. That we will pause now to remember the great man Pelé, who we so sadly lost last week. San Siro in unison shows its appreciation to Pelé. Well, Napoli aim to pick up where they left off. Spalletti's side won 11 Serie A games in a row before the World Cup break. Can anyone stop them? Into the first side to try in 2023. Focus in the eyes of Lukaku. Potentially Nigel Spackman, a blockbuster ahead of us here.
Yeah, and I think this is going to start quick and it's going to go on from there. 75,000 sellout here tonight. They've come to watch a great game, and so have we. And I think we won't be disappointed.
It is Inter to get us underway. Napoli with a chance to increase their lead over Inter to 14 points tonight. An Inter victory would reduce the gap to 8 points and perhaps breathe new life into their title challenge. We've already seen the sides directly behind Napoli. Milan and Juventus both win today. Let's see what these two sides can serve up for us. It is a pretty fervent San Siro. Early involvement here for Skriniar. Inter have a reputation this season as being fast starters. They've scored more goals in the opening 15 minutes of Serie A games than any other side, but there's nothing fast about this start from Mister.
You know, just sussing each other out here, trying to pull Napoli onto them.
Great knockdown by Lukaku, brings Dzeko into the game. Lobotka nicks it off him.
Brilliant from Lobotka, that's what he does so well. And then they're on the counter.
Kvaratskhelia. Fascinating battle ahead between the Georgian winger and Matteo Darmian. One of several things to keep an eye on.
Yeah, well, Kvaratskhelia, who's been absolutely brilliant. What, 6 goals in 12 appearances this season. All the top clubs in Europe wanting him. The 21-year-old is saying, I'm enjoying it here, I want to stay here. But can they win the title this season? That would be massive for Napoli.
Since the days of Diego Maradona, 1990 have they done it. Oliveira picked out of Mario Rui on that left-hand side tonight. Measured pass looking for Ivica Kvaratskhelia. Up against Darmian, but halted by the flag on the far side.
Yeah, just went a little bit too early there. Lovely pass down the outside. Well, that's really close. I think he was played on. The Serbi played him on. I think they got that wrong. This was Lobotka with the little challenge on Dzeko as he's about to shoot. Tactically, this is going to be fascinating. The 3-5-2 of Inter against a 4-3-3.
Oh, he could be in already here, Lukaku, but that was very well defended, wasn't it, by Kim, who did just enough.
That was brilliant from Kim, because Lukaku thinks he's away. We all think he's away, and Kim didn't give up on that. I still think Lukaku should do better, though.
What a first season in Italy Kim is having. Reached the round of 16 with South Korea at the World Cup as well.
Yeah, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? 26. A lot of the top clubs in Europe looking at him as well. And rightly so, he's been outstanding.
Says he avoids doing interviews as much as possible. Said that rumours disturb him, he said. Talked about that speculation. He said, I've only been at Napoli 6 months. Here's Barella. Anguissa back to his feet.
Yeah, Anguissa was wanting the free kick there. The referee was having none of it. Get up, get on with it.
Politano, the former Inter man, with the foul on that far side. Simone Inzaghi says he absolutely believes that Inter can still win the title. Need a big performance tonight, though. Lukaku. Oh, great ball in towards Dzeko! Oh, and Di Marco was arriving at the back post as well. It's a big chance, you know.
Yeah, I think he's at full steam coming in on this. Di Marco is bending away from him. Dzeko just couldn't get there, but Lukaku does really well. Holds it up, and then puts it into that area where the keeper can't come from it. Dzeko can't get there. Di Marco really, as you said, should have hit the target. Comes off his heel.
Good start this from Inter, and Lukaku's in. Can he finish? Last-ditch defending, just about got it done. Di Marco, and Darmian's brought it down. And the flag is up, but there's real pressure and intent here from Inter in the early stages.
Well, you said it started slowly, and suddenly it's just boiling, isn't it? It's all from Inter. Lovely play, Dzeko, but you can see Lukaku's just offside. But again, the defender's getting back and putting him under pressure. You've got to take your shot very early, and that's the Di Marco one where he's got to hit the target. Comes off his heel. I think he takes his eye off the ball. Great start to this game.
It could well live up to the hype, this one. Oliveira. Kim. Lobotka. Politano. Picked ahead of Chucky Lozano tonight. Politano, the former Inter man. Kvaratskhelia. Osimhen to slip it through for Oliveira. It was read and intercepted by Skriniar. Bastoni to Skriniar again. Still not sorted his new contract out yet, but that's a lovely ball to find Barella. And Lukaku and Dzeko are arriving in the middle. That was rather ambitious.
Well, I think he knew he was offside, that's why. I think he's gone far too early. Let's have a look from this angle. Yeah, he's a good metre offside, over the top. Barella knows he's offside, so just goes for the spectacular. But once they lose the ball, Napoli, they've got to be very careful. They're so open. They've been caught out a couple of times with that long ball already. It looks like Lukaku and Dzeko are linking quite well. Lukaku the one staying up, and Dzeko just coming into the space like a number 10, moving those two centre-backs around.
Kim. Spalletti was saying ahead of this that it's become an obsession of his to see Naples explode in joy, as he put it yesterday. The first Scudetto in 33 years would certainly achieve that. Remember when they won their first Scudetto after a very long party in the city, on the cemetery wall in the city, there was graffiti daubed on it that said, "You don't know what you missed."
I think all the neutrals that would love Napoli to win the competition. We've seen Juventus win it for so many years, then Inter win it, then Milan win it. But we get Napoli's name on that trophy, Scudetto, at the end of the season. They're a very talented team, good football inside, but they're in an area where they've never been for so long.
It's a big psychological test, isn't it?
Absolutely, tonight and for the rest of the season.
Oliveira. Lobotka. He helps make Napoli tick in that central midfield. Kvaratskhelia. Oliveira's a long way forward. Osimhen waits in the box. Kvaratskhelia. Once he was caught, the referee had a good view of that and said play on.
Well, the referee's right up with play, but I think there's a little kick on the ankle there. Otherwise, he wouldn't have go down. He's going to take the shot on. Let's have a look from this angle. Not much of a touch there from Skriniar. I don't think the referee can give a free kick for that, but this is the long ball over the top, which caught them out early on. Dzeko leaves it. Lukaku in behind, and Kim does so well to get back and put him under pressure.
Barella. Here it goes to Alex Meret, who's apparently been suffering from some symptoms of a cold, but he's been deemed fit enough to play. Kvaratskhelia.
Best of control from Politano down that right-hand side. But you can see the tactics of Inter. They're just dropping off basically to the halfway line and saying you can have it there, and then we'll try and squeeze you once you come into that middle third, attacking third. We're going to squeeze the game and try and hit you on the counter.
Ongisa. Politano. Turn was a nice one by Zielinski. This is Kim. Oliveira. Just starting to find their passing rhythm here, Napoli. Zielinski. Oliveira had made the run beyond him. Comes out here to Politano. Ongisa to his left. Cross was blocked by Henrik Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan keeps his place in the side tonight. Brozovic available to Inzaghi, of course a player that Spalletti knows very well indeed. He really helped re-energise, rejuvenate the career of Brozovic. I have been looking forward to actually seeing Brozovic and Lobotka up against each other in central midfield, but not to be tonight.
Yeah, I just think that Inter are better balanced when Brozovic is in the team, and Çalhanoğlu can play a little bit further forward. Normally they expect Mkhitaryan alongside Barella, but Çalhanoğlu's done very well in that more defensive role that he's had to take on, with Barella being out.
Barella under pressure from Lobotka. Cleared by Onana. Di Lorenzo, the outfield player to start every league game this season for Napoli. Romani, his first appearance tonight since October. A game to come back in for, isn't it?
It is, but they've had that break, haven't they? And he was injured before that, so plenty of training, I think, plenty of games. They feel he's fit enough to start tonight. He started well so far.
Di Lorenzo. Osimhen up against Acerbi. Good ball for Di Lorenzo. Will be a corner kick to Napoli.
Yeah, it's good play down that right-hand side from Napoli. Di Lorenzo getting forward, forcing the corner. First time we've really seen Osimhen able to get down that channel and get on the ball.
Set pieces and crosses could be important today. Napoli have only conceded one headed goal this season, but they've scored 9 headed goals, the most in Serie A before today. Say as well, no Serie A sides conceded more headed goals than Inter, but that was relatively routine for Onana.
Yeah, it was overhit straight into his hands there. But they're a big team, Napoli. Giza in the middle of the park with Romani and Kim. Oliveira's not small either. Osimhen, as we know.
The heels of Lukaku, the ball from Damian. Clear foul by Skriniar and Kvaratskhelia.
Well, it's just a wild kick from Skriniar there. I'm surprised the referee hasn't produced the yellow card. Watch this. That's a poor challenge, that is. Right in front of the benches. I think that deserves a yellow card from Skriniar there on that challenge. It's a young referee, he's only 35. I think Spalletti was happy with that challenge.
It is a really big game, this, for the career of Simone Sozza. Relatively young for a top-flight referee. Saying ahead of this, Inzaghi, that he feels as though Napoli have, as he put it, amplified the mistakes of the league's other top teams this season in terms of their extraordinary form ahead of the break for the World Cup. Can they keep it going, though, Spalletti's side? They've lost it here. Lukaku's on the move. Mkhitaryan looked for Barella instead. He just hadn't anticipated that. Oliveira wins it back for Napoli, and now Inter are having to rush players back. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, who's got Osimhen waiting in the box. Kvaratskhelia has found Zielinski, who's got Lobotka just behind him. They've got numbers back now, Inter. Di Lorenzo with the cross, too high for Osimhen.
Yeah, he thought Osimhen was going to spin round the back. He didn't, he came towards the ball. But this is just the turnover or the loss of possession in the middle of the park, and suddenly one team's at the other. We haven't really seen the goalkeepers called into action yet, but he's got to keep that composure in this game. There's such a lot of pressure on these players out there. The expectations are so high, but you've got to keep your own mind under pressure, but also do the right things at the right time. Give the ball away cheaply like that, and then it's given away cheaply again. Politano, I think that is, and Çalhanoğlu coming together.
Happily okay, as we pass the quarter of an hour mark at San Siro. Çalhanoğlu stretching but got there. Barella. Dzeko makes his way into the box. This is Darmian. Lukaku. Couldn't make it stick. Off Barella for a throw-in.
Giza did really well there, surrounded Lukaku as he takes the touch. Comes from the midfield position, nicks it away, good skill. They're working so hard, both of these sides.
Irritated Barella. Said he watched hardly any of the World Cup. Barella still so disappointed that Italy didn't make it.
Yeah, European champions, but didn't get to the World Cup for the second time, Italy. I think coming back to Barella, I think he's had a wonderful season so far, but his temperament at times lets him down. Wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a fantastic footballer.
That's Kim's pass. Kvaratskhelia looking to get there, but Skriniar came across.
Yeah, he's a big lad to get around Skriniar, isn't he, for Kvaratskhelia there. But coming back to Barella, 5 goals, 5 assists this season. He's been outstanding form over the last couple of seasons.
Tripped by Zielinski. I think another thing to point out about Barella as well is how much distance he covers. 11.3 kilometres per game he's averaging, which is more than any other Inter player, slightly more than Brozovic. His energy in that midfield, as well as his creativity, so important for him.
Yeah, and his craft, those little passes as well, quality player. But he's got the energy, as you said, but he's got the ability as well, can score goals, assist with goals. Brozovic may be more of a defensive player that breaks things up and gives the likes of Barella the ball.
I was wondering whether Brozovic might have been watching the action in the darts last night. I only found out the other day, apparently he's a massive darts fan, Marcelo Brozovic. I'm sure he enjoyed that 9-darter last night.
Well, fantastic final, wasn't it? So many people like darts. It's interesting, isn't it, around Europe these days?
Brozovic is one, apparently. Oliver. Kim. Di Lorenzo.
So you see with this system for Napoli, the 2 fullbacks can push right on because the 2 wide strikers are taking the 2 wing-backs right back for Inter. So the 2 fullbacks, Olivero and Di Lorenzo, are the 2 out balls all the time.
Di Lorenzo, Anguissa, Ramani. Great strength. Politano's cross towards Osimhen. Not too much service into the number 9 just yet. Backing off a little bit here, Inter. Kvaratskhelia up against Darmian.
Brilliant defending from Kim. Knows he's under pressure from Lukaku. Chasing that one down, straight back to his goalkeeper. But Politano's got to start doing better down that right-hand side for Napoli. He looks very nervous. He keeps hitting the first man or giving the ball away.
Lobotka. Olivero. Kvaratskhelia. Lobotka. Lobotka.
They seem a little bit passive at the moment, Inter. Not really squeezing the game together. They're just dropping deeper and deeper and letting Napoli dictate the play here and the tempo.
It's like they're just waiting for a moment, isn't it? It's happy for Napoli to have the ball, but just waiting for a moment.
Yeah, to give that ball away in the middle of the park and then hit on the counter. There are some talented players in the middle of the park, but you've got to get on the ball.
Anguissa. To get a push off Bastoni, and I think he slammed it awkwardly there, holding his left wrist there. Anguissa.
Well, it's right in front of the assistant. Let's have a look from this angle. Well, it does go under his body a little bit.
He's struggling, isn't he?
But I think the referee and the assistants are trying to let the game flow, and that's what we want. There are so many good players out there. If it's a foul, then give it. If it's a 50-50, then maybe just play on. Hopefully Anguissa will be all right, but he fell on that and it went under his rib cage.
It's proved to be an excellent signing from Fulham. Anguissa, they do have such a really nice blend in that midfield, Napoli. Those three players, their skill sets, they all complement each other so well.
Yeah, and the big thing is they all work really hard for the team. You've got to when you play a 4-3-3, and Anguissa, I think, it's surprised me, having watched him at Fulham many times. I thought, can he step up? And he's done exceptionally well.
Ndombele is an option on the bench for Spalletti, should he be required. Forward by Politano, Osimhen trying to make something of it, and he has, and he's got Kvaratskhelia arriving in the box.
Well, that's brilliant, but that, as a defender, you know that you've got someone with that pace and ability, and Osimhen, he's going to chase everything down. So if you're under pressure, just hook it over the top. Take the pressure off your team. He's onside, brilliant run. In the end, the Serbi does really well. And it goes out for the corner.
He chases lost causes so well, Osimhen. He was saying to the referee that came off the hand of Acerbi, but Napoli have the corner, and Osimhen's in there. Now maybe they can counter into Çalhanoğlu. Darmian, Barella's peeled out wide. Di Marco's made a run down the left. Pass needs to be good, but it wasn't. Intercepted by Kvaratskhelia. Now Inter have to rush players back. Poor ball by Anguissa. Both sides wasteful on the counter.
Yeah, you've got to take care with those passes in the middle of the park and in that final third. I think Anguissa went the wrong way.
Just kept in on that far side. Mkhitaryan. Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Barella. And they move it quickly here. Dzeko tries to bring Darmian in, but the impressive Kim's there again for Napoli. Skriniar. Barella. Skriniar. Çalhanoğlu. Spalletti would have been too worried, but Napoli did lose 2 friendlies before the restart, 3-2 against Villarreal and 4-1 against Lille. Inter won their final 2 against Regina and Sassuolo.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's putting those hard yards in early on, and then the game's coming up towards Serie A starting again, you take your foot off the gas or you change things around a little bit. It's all what happens in this game, and are you ready for it? They haven't disappointed us yet, these 2 teams.
Simmering nicely. Lukaku. Tough place to come this against Inter. They've only lost 1 of their last 13 Serie A home games. They've won 11 of them. Only dropped 3 points at home in the league this campaign. It's that defeat to Roma on the 1st of October when Chris Smalling got the winner. Skriniar plays one through here for Lukaku. Dzeko's waiting in the box. And Darmian! What a chance. Golden opportunity spurned.
Just have to say anyone else but Darmian for Inter. It's a lovely ball. Skriniar bringing the ball out. Fine pass. The movement is good from Lukaku. Kim can't get there. And then this is good awareness. Dzeko lays it off. Darmian on the sort of little half volley leans back on it and gets under the ball, where you've got to get your knee, your head over the ball and hit the target there. Darmian, that's the best chance of the game now to the two wing-backs.
Late challenge there, which is going to result in a yellow card. Dzeko, the player booked. Well, Amani was the player felled.
Yeah, I think he made the most of it. Dzeko coming across, he's holding his ankle, and I'm not sure he caught him. He stepped on the back of the calf. Amani there. But coming back to the point about Darmian, this is the layoff and leaning back on it. DiMarco, if you remember early on, came in at the back post where Dzeko couldn't quite get on the end of it. So both wing-backs have had the best chances in the game so far.
Well, Napoli have had the better of the possession. Yeah, it's Inter who've had the two best chances. And they've fallen to their wing-backs.
Yeah, two players. I mean, DiMarco's not normally bad once he's got 3 goals this season, but Darmian, maybe not the player. If it was Dumfries, that might have been in the back of the net.
It was Skriniar and Kvaratskhelia who came together there.
Coming together. Both players like to throw themselves on the floor. I have to say Skriniar does that really well as a defender. Kvaratskhelia is used to getting kicked and falling on the floor. Little tap on the side there. Bit of respect. That's good to see.
Cialanoglu. DiMarco. Bastoni. Well, that was interesting comments from Bastoni the other day. He said as the season resumes that he thinks that Inter need to increase their tempo and intensity as compared to the first 15 games of the season. Played wide here by Zielinski, cut out by Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, it's interesting when players coming out saying things like that, but maybe Inter don't quite play that way with the intensity. They like to counter-attack with the wing-backs, so they don't take the play so much as teams like Napoli do, or maybe Milan.
Kvaratskhelia. Lobotka. Romani. Di Lorenzo. Zielinski. Politano. Cross blocked at the expense of a corner by DiMarco. Headed goals this season scored by Napoli. One of their taller players, Kim, is up from the back. Osimhen being watched closely. Barella with a little slip there. Kvaratskhelia. Barella dealt with him well.
Kvaratskhelia trying to stick it through his legs. Go the other side. Barella wasn't having any of it.
Lobotka, Anguissa, Oliveira, nice approach play this by Napoli, and it's sliced wide in the end by Zielinski, but that's one of the best moves they put together.
Well, this is a great chance for Zielinski. He's coming across him, he could take a touch or put the laces through it. He scuffed it, scuffed his lines, but really good play. Onside as well on Giza. It's just a poor attempt from Zielinski there. If it went to that man, maybe that would have been bulging the back of the net.
Just over half an hour gone. Anguissa is having quite an influence on that midfield. Kvaratskhelia Inter with a man down, which Inzaghi is pointing out to the referee, and the play is finally halted.
Yeah, but Barella does this. He likes to, if he loses the ball, he likes to throw himself on the ground and get a free kick. The referee wasn't having any of it. And in the end, I think they've been forced to put the ball out. Look, see how he's landed? He's gone down on his ankle. I hope it's not, because we want the best players in this game, and Barella's one of them, but I'm sure he'd be okay.
Barella's going to be so important for Inter if they are to get back into this title race. I think way back to the 88-89 Scudetto comeback there was from Inter in the second half of that season. You think about the contributions of the likes of Berti and Lothar Matthäus in that central midfield. And Barella will play a key role for Inter, not just tonight, but going forward as well in the coming weeks. Oliveira. Darmian wins it back, and then there's the trip by Oliveira, but the advantage played, and Lukaku quite keep hold of that, and Kim heads back to Alex Merritt.
No, you can't control that with your head. You're just trying to flick it on for yourself there, Lukaku. It's such a bad ball into him. The players are starting to feign a little bit of injury again now, trying to get free kicks when they lose the ball. The referee's done well, letting it flow.
Kim. Kvaratskhelia. The challenge by Skriniar, who's frustrated at the Georgian winger for going down there. Barella. Kvaratskhelia wins it back and looks for Osimhen. Kvaratskhelia is down again here.
Well, the referee's given offside against Osimhen, but I think there's a foul here. When he plays it, he's offside, but when he plays it, it's a late challenge. I think it's Barella there. Really, the assistant should see that. It's a kick in the back of the Achilles. Look at that. That should be a free kick.
He's clearly a marked man, Kvaratskhelia.
That was Darmian going down, but the referee weighed play on because Inter had the ball, and then they smashed it up to Lukaku and lost possession. But the referee's got to keep a lid on this.
Well, 10 live games we've brought to you on BT Sport from Serie A today. The live action continues at the weekend. Monza at home against Inter, Saturday 7:30. And then on Sunday, another chance to see Napoli in action. They go to Marassi to take on Sampdoria. Sunday at 5. The return of Golazzo live as well on Sunday night from 7 with the two Jameses, and the live game as part of Golazzo Live should be another cracker from San Siro. Milan, the champions, up against Mourinho's Roma. Another one for us to look forward to.
Yeah, Roma had a good win today. Up to joint 30 points, equal with Inter. It's going to be a good game the weekend. Where are those two Jameses? Are they still on their holidays or something? I thought they'd be here tonight. What's going on?
They'll be back on Sunday, don't worry about that. Here's Oliveira. Kim. Anguissa. Stanislav Lobotka. Di Lorenzo. Only 2 points dropped away from home in Serie A this season by Napoli. Their only away defeat at Liverpool in the Champions League. This is Kvaratskhelia, looking dangerous, cutting inside as he loves to do, but he's not got a shot away yet in that sort of position. Zielinski. Politano. Zielinski. Kim. To stretch the play, that's a good ball as well. Di Lorenzo plays it back. Anguissa with the cross in there towards Osimhen. Towering header clear from Skriniar. Barella. Good pressure from Oliveira, but the referee's given a free kick to Inter.
See, that's what I don't like about Barella. I think he's a wonderful player, but he's just got to get on. He's trying to referee the game as well. It's a free kick, no more. Get on with it. It's coming back to Kvaratskhelia. I think in the next one, he's going to go on the outside. He's got to take Skriniar on the outside, on his left. He keeps coming back on the inside, and as you said, he can't get his shot off.
Mkhitaryan. Di Marco continues his run down the left. Crowd frustrated that Di Marco wasn't used perhaps there. Anguissa. It's an interesting one with Kvaratskhelia in the break during the World Cup. Of course, column inches needed to be filled in Italy, and one of the articles I read was about how perhaps teams might work him out, how maybe it might be more difficult for him in the second half of the season. But he says he's practicing and working on new tricks all the time to make him as unpredictable as possible. Politano.
That's good to hear. From a 21-year-old. But I think he is a marked man now. I think I watched that game at Anfield where Liverpool got very physical with him, tried to push him back towards his own goal. Didn't like that so much, and I think Inter are trying to do that tonight.
Zielinski. Plenty of space out wide here. Di Lorenzo, Politano. Di Lorenzo again. Lobotka. Can they create a chance for Osimhen, who keeps putting up his arms? Di Lorenzo. It's towards Osimhen that time. Beaten in the air by Skriniar. Cleared by Damian. Good flick on by Dzeko here to Barella. Firm challenge from Kim.
Yeah, no messing, that's for sure. But it was a good defensive header from Skriniar. He attacks the ball so well when it comes into his own box.
Dzeko. Quite find the run of Damian, and then there's the trip. To have won their last 4 home league games against Napoli. The last time they failed to win in this fixture, a goalless draw in March of 2018. Now they need that winning run at home against Napoli to continue tonight. Remember, they could reduce the gap to 8 points. The Napoli win would extend it to 14. Anguissa's given it away cheaply. Barella. Mkhitaryan, Di Marco to his left. And Di Marco. The mistake by Anguissa wasn't punished to the full extent there.
Yeah, Anguissa, since he had that hand injury, he really hasn't taken part in this game. He's given the ball away 2 or 3 times in dangerous areas, and suddenly Inter are getting half chances, and it's led to this corner now. Just got to keep it away from that near post for me. Someone's got to get some movement right round the back for Skriniar. Get away from the keeper. So many players in that 6-yard box as it swung in with pace. Well defended by Osimhen. It's great to bring back in those sort of situations. Yeah, he does that job so well. That's what I'm saying. You've got to keep it away from that near post. He's going to win those headers in there. Acerbi. Milan Skriniar. Spotted the movement from Di Marco, but the ball is overhit. He's had a good season so far, Federico Di Marco. Signed a new deal in the latter end of 2021 till 2026. Just wondered whether they could actually get him more involved down that left-hand side as the game wears on. Well, the thing is with this, as I said, with the system, it's very difficult because they're getting dragged back, because when they're playing the front 3, and Osimhen's down the middle, occupying the 3 centre-backs. The 2 wing-backs are having to go all the way back with Politano and obviously Kvaratskhelia. So then it leaves the space for the 2 full-backs, Di Lorenzo and Oliveira, to get on the ball and dictate the play. So unless they go a bit more positive and say, right, it's a bit of cat and mouse, I'm going to take you forward now, then really it's going to be difficult for them to get forward too much, Di Marco. Bastoni intercepted it. Barella with the flick, and Lukaku could be in here. Can he finish? Oh! He's saying there was a nick on that. So well played by Inter to create the chance for Lukaku. What a touch from Barella. What a touch, absolutely brilliant touch and awareness, and it's Lukaku on his right foot. This is on his left foot. I'm not sure Merritt did get much on that. I think he's just leaning back a little bit. Misses the target over the top. I think if that's on his left foot, he would have hit the target at least. 3 really good chances now, though, Nigel, for Inter. They've not been able to take them. Will they be made to pay for that? Dzeko. Final 5 minutes of the first half.
Di Marco, Darmian and now Lukaku have all spurned good chances. Bastoni, Dzeko, Lukaku's waiting, here is Barella, it's on for the shot, Di Marco! Great save, Meret! Flag goes up, but the goalkeeper wasn't to know.
Brilliant goalkeeping, Alex Meret. He didn't know that Di Marco was offside. It's a shot here from Barella, that's a shot. I'm not sure he was offside, I think Lukaku was offside, but I'm not sure Di Marco was offside, but it's a brilliant save from the goalkeeper, outstanding.
He really has come on so much in terms of his confidence this season. Alex Meret really established himself. They've been talking in the Italian press recently about whether he could unseat Donnarumma as the #1 for Italy. A lot of the credit, needs to go to Alejandro Lopez, who's the goalkeeping coach at Napoli, Spalletti's goalkeeping coach, who clearly has done some really good work with Alex Meret. He's been very good this season by and large.
Well, he's got to play well. Even when you've got such a good team in front of you, you've still got to do the bits behind them. And he's had 6 clean sheets this season. He's had a penalty save as well. So that was an excellent one-on-one. That was like a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and he's come up trumps once again.
Napoli yet to craft out a clear-cut chance. Inter have had 3, but it's still 0-0.
Yeah, the 2 wing-backs have had chances, but then Lukaku on that right foot of his leaning back puts it over the top. But the game's very open, 2 good teams. And really, I have to say, Inter play like an away team. They just try and hit on the counter. It's Napoli who dictate the play here with possession. And as you rightly said, they've not really crafted anything yet.
Inzaghi would probably look at it in terms of his game plan. It's worked to perfection. They take those chances, they're comfortably in front.
Absolutely, that's the game plan is working for them. Because Napoli haven't had any chances. But they've got to take their own chances, because they know that Napoli will get 1 or 2 chances in this game, and normally they take them.
These are the 2 highest scoring sides in Serie A ahead of this round of games. Napoli, the top scorers. They were also top and unbeaten after 15 games of their last Scudetto winning season. Napoli. Here's Barella. Di Marco's made another run. He looked for Dzeko instead. Di Marco saying, why didn't you play it to me?
They just overhit it, but Napoli have got to regroup here. They're so open at the moment. They keep giving chances away to Inter. Got to keep possession. Be a little bit more positive when they get into these areas. Slip it down the outside of Skriniar.
Oliveira. Zielinski. Looks for Politano and finds him. Anguissa making his way into the box. Zielinski's held his position. Di Lorenzo makes a darting run. Zielinski. Oliveira. Kvaratskhelia wide. Zielinski. Final minute of the half. Politano. Di Lorenzo's a long way forwards, and it's turned not too far wide by Anguissa. Better that, though, from Napoli.
Well, they kept possession really well. That's what I said they need to do. Keep possession, take the pressure off yourself. That's a good ball in, and Anguissa gets there in front of Bastoni, but can't hit the target.
Osimhen not happy with the holding he felt was going on there by Acerbi, who I think is suggesting that Osimhen was doing the same to him. Final seconds of normal time at the end of the half, as we await to see how much added time there will be. So no added time at the end of the first half, which has been captivating viewing as we expected, and certainly Inter have had the chances to take the lead. 3 really good opportunities, 2 of them to their wing-backs, the other to Romelu Lukaku. Napoli rather restricted in terms of opportunities, one for Zielinski on the edge of the box, and that one for Anguissa right at the end of the half. But at San Siro, at half-time, it is Inter 0, Napoli 0. goalless at half-time then at San Siro. WBC, WBO and IBF world champion Artur Beterbiev will defend his belts against big punching British challenger Anthony Yarde at Wembley Arena on Saturday the 28th of January, and that is live on BT Sport 1 and Ultimate. So let's remind ourselves of the best of the action from the first half between Inter and Napoli at San Siro. It was almost, Nigel Spatman, the perfect start, wasn't it, for the hosts Inter?
It was. Just a long ball right through and the two centre-backs get caught out. Lukaku's in. But I have to say, Kim does so well just to get back and put him under pressure. He shows a real good turn of pace, but Lukaku, for me, has got to get that under control and get his shot off.
A lot of the early running done by the home side. Inter, Lukaku involved again here. I wonder if DiMarco takes that with his right foot, he scores, doesn't he?
Well, I don't know if he thinks that Dzeko's going to stick it in the back of the net, but it's brilliant from Lukaku. Hold up play, put it into a dangerous area, and DiMarco's definitely onside. If he runs round on his right foot, he's got the whole goal to hit. When he lets it run onto his left, he's got a tighter angle, but he should still hit the target at least.
Two good chances for Inter went to their wing-backs. This was the opportunity that fell the way of the former Manchester United man, Matteo Darmian. It's a really clever run from him initially. The set to him from Dzeko's perfect. Couldn't have really done any more for Darmian, who then sent it over the bar.
Now, this is like off the training ground. I mean, Skriniar does so well. It's a straight ball through the middle. Lukaku chases it, puts a good ball in, and Dzeko just lays it off. Go on, put that in the back of the net, and he's leaning back on it. Darmian on the half volley, he's got to hit the target, should have scored.
Napoli haven't had anywhere near as many opportunities. Arguably, they've not had any clear-cut chances. A couple of half chances, Nigel. This was one for Zielinski.
Yeah, should have done better, Zielinski. I think he got caught in two minds. Should have taken it with the instep or should have used the laces, but Anguissa gets on it. Lovely little ball into Oliveira. The layoff, got to hit the target.
Really sliced across the ball, didn't he, the Polish international?
Yeah, those are the big games, big moments in big games. You've got to be composed, and he wasn't there.
What a lovely flick that was from Barella to find Lukaku, who's felt that Meret got a touch on that, but no corner was awarded. He's just put it over the bar.
Yeah, but the skill, the awareness from Barella, and Lukaku on his weaker right foot should still hit the target. Gone for the wrong option meet there. He should go for the near post.
What a save we saw in the final 5 minutes of the half from Alex Meret. He's been in good form overall this season. Barella involved, great ball for DiMarco. It was given as offside this. I think it might have stood had it gone to VAR. It's very close, isn't it, in terms of the offside for DiMarco? Yeah,
but it's a brilliant save. I'm not sure if his left arm maybe was off, but Barella's shooting there, it goes to DiMarco. But what a save from Meret.
Was that chance for Anguissa right at the end of the half, the final minute of normal time, that he steered just wide?
Yeah, couldn't get enough on it, but it's a really good move from left to right. The ball comes in for Di Lorenzo, and Anguissa just can't direct it on target.
Well, it's a really good 0-0 so far, if I can put it that way. And every chance of goals to come in the second half, which is coming up next. So in terms of chances created in the first half at San Siro, it's certainly Inter who've had the better of it. They have been rather wasteful in front of goal, though. You wonder whether that might catch up with them in this second half. We shall see. For those of you keen to see Real Madrid and Barcelona in action before the Champions League and Europa League's return, we've got them on BT Sport next week, fighting for the Supercopa de España, the two semi-finals, and then the final will be live as well on BT Sport. Can you do that, Nigel?
What, the game or keeping the ball up?
Keeping the ball up.
No, I don't think I'll be doing that in a crowd like that. In my back garden, maybe, but I'll probably pull my hamstring or something these days.
What do you think of this game so far?
I think it's been really interesting. I think the tactics from both teams, where Napoli like to keep possession, try and get it into the wide areas and then get balls into the box. I think then for Inter it's about counter-attacking, winning the ball and suddenly straight down the middle. But I have to say Inter have had the better chances, the two wing-backs, Di Marco and Darmian, and then obviously Lukaku with that chance he's put over the top. But I think Napoli will get better in the final third in this second half. They need to. And I think the two benches could really come into it. You know, Lozano, Raspadori, Simone on the bench for Napoli. And I think Dumfries and Lautaro Martinez and Correa on the bench for Inter could be very tactical.
Talking of the tactical side of it, yes, it's still 0-0, but you would have thought of the two head coaches, it would be Inzaghi who would be the happier of the way the game plans have worked out so far. His side have created much the better of the chances, haven't they? Yeah,
I think you're spot on, but you've got to take those chances. And I think in the end, a 0-0 is not good enough for Inter. They need to win this game to really get themselves back into contention here. With Milan winning and Juventus winning, his team need to find something special in the second half.
It's a great point, that, because as this game wears on and if it remains goalless, there becomes a real onus and a pressure on Inter to try and force the issue, doesn't there? Because they need to win this. A point wouldn't be a bad result at all, really, for Napoli coming to San Siro against Inter. But Inter, to start closing that gap, they've got to win this, surely.
They've got to win this. They're looking upwards to Juventus and Milan and Napoli, but they're looking over their shoulder at the likes of Roma now, who won today as well. So the pressure's building. This crowd, if they go a goal down or it stays 0-0, this crowd will start demanding you push forward.
Going to be a really interesting second half, this. Napoli create more. We're used to seeing them do that, aren't we? The highest scorers in the league ahead of this round of games. They've really troubled Onana as of yet. Plenty of time to go, though. Oliveira. I have to say, it's brilliant to have Serie A back after that break of 51 days for the World Cup. Brought you every game live on our channels today. Hope you're enjoying it all at home. Here's Di Lorenzo, Politano, Osimhen and Anguissa in the middle. Di Lorenzo, Politano, slipped by Osimhen. Acerbi with the header clear. Dzeko, Inter on the counter. Lukaku brought into the game, Barella's arriving on the edge of the box, but Lukaku's played it just behind him.
It still looks very rusty to me. Lukaku wasn't his sharpest in the World Cup, you can understand that, and I think this big game, he's making good movement, but really he's got to slow himself down and be precise in the pass and with the finish if he gets into those good areas, which he did in the first half.
How hard is it when you've been out for a while, as he has been? He's, well, hasn't started before today for Inter since August. How hard is it to come in and hit the ground running?
It's very difficult. As a centre-forward, your touch isn't sometimes there, your finishing isn't quite there like you'd like it. And also, there's a pressure on him. He's come back from Chelsea, he's obviously on loan, he wants to do well. He loves the support here that he's given, but in the big games, you've got to turn up. You've got to produce, and at the moment, he's just off his 100% and off his little bit of movement, and his touch isn't quite there for me.
Darmian with the cross. Lukaku couldn't bring it under his spell. Lobotka was there.
But you can see straight away they're squeezing up much higher into in the first half. They dropped off once they lost the ball. Back to the halfway line. This time they're squeezing the ball, so it's a high press they're starting with in this second half.
Yeah, change in tact as Lautaro Martinez warms up. Joaquin Correa was there as well. Di Marco looking to force the issue. It's a bit late there on Di Lorenzo. Free, happy for Inter to have the throw-in. In it goes to Lukaku. Used his strength to win the corner.
Yeah, but you can see that high press now, change of tactics for Inter, putting Napoli under pressure defensively. This is a good start to this second half for Inter.
Could they find a goal right at the start of this second half? Çalhanoğlu will swing it in. This is Politano. Caught by Çalhanoğlu. There's a man down on the byline here. Di Lorenzo it is.
Yeah, he made the header. I think it hit him in the nose at that near post from the corner. And as I said in the first half, these corners, you really want to put it in the back stick, not in that front stick, because they're so strong, Napoli, in those areas. Politano goes down, gets the free kick, but it's Lorenzo who we're worried about here, the captain. There you go, hits him right on the bridge of the nose. That's a sore one.
He was appointed captain over the summer after Insigne's departure, and that of Koulibaly as well. I remember he said over the summer, when all those changes were happening, players were going out, players were coming in, some even felt that maybe Napoli might drop out of the top 4 this season. With all those changes, so many senior figures going out, and he said, don't you worry, a new Napoli is being born, and now he's been proved right.
He has been proved right, but can they keep it going? That's the big question mark now. But I think they've surprised everyone. Most people thought they were going to drop out of that top 4, but they've been the surprise package for me. And they've been well worthy of being top of the league, the way they've played.
They've played some of the best football, not just in Italy, but in all of Europe this season. Brilliant in the Champions League. Barella, Çalhanoğlu, good header by Kim. Always seems to be in the right place, Kim. Reads the game very well. Osimhen. Is he being held by a Acerbi? The referee again lets it go. Mkhitaryan. Çalhanoğlu, Di Marco's a long way forward, 3 in the box for Inter. Dzeko looking to turn, and Di Marco will fire it across, and there's a real degree of pressure being exerted here by Inter in the early stages of the second half.
Yeah, well, Osimhen wanted the free kick, played for the free kick, the referee wasn't having any of it again, and then it's out to Di Marco, one cross in, and then it comes back, another cross in, out for a corner. Good pressure and a good start to this second half from Inter.
Can they score while they're on top here, Inter? Looking to force the issue. Poor corner by Di Marco. There's a lot more intent here about Inter. They were a little bit passive at times in that first half, even though they did create much the better of the chances. They let Napoli have a lot of the ball. Zielinski. 6 gone in the second half. Fascinating fair at San Siro. Kvaratskhelia, fantastic run. They need end product. Osimhen might provide it! It's in the arms of Onana. End-to-end stuff.
Brilliant stuff, but Çalhanoğlu at the end here did so well to block Osimhen off. Watch this defending from the central midfield player. It's over his head. He doesn't give up on it. He's back. Strong, gets his body in between ball and player. It's really well.
Bastoni.
I did say in the first half those 2 wing-backs were getting taken back by the wide players of Napoli. Now they're saying, right, can we get forwards, be more positive? They can, but it's really hard work to get up and down this pitch in a game like this. The tempo.
It might create openings for Napoli to exploit, might it? And this is why it's so well poised, this. From a tactical perspective, Inzaghi's made his move really here early, hasn't he, at the start of the second half?
Yeah, but I think tactically that's what he wanted to do first half, and probably this is tactically what he wanted to do second half. Take the game to Napoli, see what they're made of, because they need goals, Inter.
Inter have been something of a bogey side for Napoli in recent years. They've not won any of the last 6 meetings. Napoli, Inter's last defeat to them was May 2019, that 4-1 defeat in Naples. Just like they were after 15 games of that 89-90 season. Napoli top of the pile and unbeaten. Translated to 3 points for a win there. 15-game total in 89-90 was 31 points. Right now they've got 41. It shows you just how good they've been so far this season. Can they see it out, though? So much competition.
Yeah, we're not halfway through the season really, are we, either? But I think there's wonderful teams as well. I think Milan and Inter are good teams. Juventus are getting stronger as well. Roma are pushing up as well. So, you know, you can't take your foot off the gas. If you're Napoli, you've got to go for it in every game, as they always do anyway.
Why Inter began this game 11 points behind Napoli is their performances against the other top sides this season. They lost 3-1 at Lazio, 3-2 against Milan, lost 2-1 at home to Roma, they lost 2-0 at Juve. How Inzaghi's side need to deliver a big performance tonight in this head-to-head. Dzeko, Barella takes it on, Di Marco taking up a great position. That's who he looked for.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to take the responsibility yourself and take the shot, but I'm a bit worried about Politano. He didn't have a good first half. He started very sloppy in this second half. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets hooked very quickly. He's finding it very difficult to get into this game. This is brilliant defending though, Calhanoglu. He didn't commit himself, but he knew he was going to miss the ball in the air, so don't jump because you never get back. So he just turned and blocked Osimhen off. Really good defending from the central midfield player.
Mentions those Inter defeats in games against some of the other big sides in Serie A. They've already lost more league games this season Inter than they did in the whole of last season. Defensively, particularly away from home, they've been nowhere near as strong. And they're on the attack here with Di Marco. Dzeko's arriving in the box, Lukaku's in there as well. Dzeko! There's the breakthrough! And having squandered those chances in the first half, Inter have taken that one. Edin Dzeko with the header. And 10 minutes into the second half, it's 1-0 Inter at San Siro.
Well, he doesn't miss from there, Dzeko, does he? He's in great goal-scoring form this season. But what a ball this is from Di Marco. Terrible defending from Napoli, the two centre-backs, but they get caught out. But this turn and pass out to Di Marco, who's looking for Dzeko. As Romani gets ball watching, he watches the ball instead of the player, and Dzeko is so good, takes him towards the post, then back towards the middle of the goals. Brilliant ball in, great centre-forward play, but what a ball in from the wing-back Di Marco, on a plate. Go on, help yourself. 1-0 Inter.
But he scored in those friendlies against Regina and Sassuolo. He scored 3 goals in his last 2 league games before the break, Edin Dzeko. He's got a big one there. And you'd have to say, Nigel, taking the game as a whole, you'd be hard-pushed to argue that Inter don't deserve that.
No, on the balance of play, I think Inter have had the better chances. They've come out this second half and really done the high press, taking the game to Napoli. But this game isn't over. 1-0. What have you got now, Napoli? But Dzeko, you give him a chance and you expect him to score, and he didn't disappoint, did he? What a player. I
would say that he's one of the most underrated centre-forwards of his generation. I put him up there with Giroud in that bracket. So underrated, Dzeko, as a footballer. The Bosnian diamond, as they call him in his home country. Politano. Can Napoli hit back? Politano's cross. Too much on it for Osimhen. Free kick, Napoli in a decent position here. Remember, Napoli, the only unbeaten team left in the top 5 European leagues this season. That status under serious threat.
Yeah, it's under serious threat. They've got a free kick in a really good area here, though, Napoli. Politano fancy it with his left foot. Osimhen might fancy it as well. Can they get back on level terms straight away here?
Highest scoring side in the league, Napoli. Not really troubled Onana as of yet tonight. Napolitano and Zielinski stood over it. Osimhen being watched by Damian. Zielinski floats one in there, and Romani got his head to it, but well off target.
Yeah, you could see what they were going to do, but Dzeko was back there defending this time as well. But what a goal this is, but it's put on a plate. DiMarco's ball in, but Romani, I don't know what you were doing. You're ball watching instead of watching your player, blocking him off, and he gets in behind you. Brilliant movement from Dzeko as well. But what a ball, what a finish, and Inter deserve that.
Turns 37 in March, Edin Dzeko, but still scoring big goals on the big stage. Now reports he could be offered a contract extension. Lukaku guided back to Meret.
I think the thing with Dzeko, when you look at him, he's never had the greatest of pace. It's his movement and his technique. You know, he's good in the air, he's good on the floor. So it doesn't matter about his age, because he couldn't run that much anyway. He's not going to run in behind, but he's a very clever player.
Similarly, again, I guess you could say to Giroud in that respect, he's certainly never been quick.
Yeah, he's having another brilliant season. And I think the game in Italy suits the older players, the older centre-forwards. Their technique is so good.
Almost an hour gone at San Siro. Will we see Napoli beaten for the first time this season in Serie A, or will they hit back? Certainly have the weapons in their arsenal to hit back. Here's Lobotka. Di Lorenzo. Wasteful again there, Napoli. Dzeko. Didn't have too much to aim at, only Lukaku forwards. Oliveira. Kvaratskhelia. How they need something big from him in this second half. Lobotka. Just patiently probing here, Napoli. Kvaratskhelia. Twinkle toes, the fleet of foot, and into the side netting it went. Finally, though, Nigel, he got a shot away.
Yeah, finally he's got it. The defender's on the back foot in the 18-yard box. Goes on the outside, cuts across it, excuse me, cuts across it into the side netting. Got to go across the goal there, Kvaratskhelia. But I just think that Napolitano's really struggling. He needs to be looking to make changes now, Spalletti. He's got strength on the bench. When does he do it?
Yeah, there are lots of options there, aren't there, in that respect. Lozano is the obvious one on the right, but there are other players that he could call on as well from an attacking perspective. And lots of Elmas and Raspadori and Simeone and Inter are unhappy here. That's gone against them.
Well, it was a foul. The referee's right on it. Just pulls him to the floor. I just also wonder at left back whether you look and put Mario Rui on just to push Kvaratskhelia a little bit more forward.
Oliveira squeezes it through here to Anguissa, and Di Lorenzo's a long way forwards, and he couldn't find Osimhen. Really nice Napoli move, but no end product.
No end product, and really should have gone for goal himself. Opens up. If he takes the shot on the goalkeeper, Onana spills it. Osimhen's there just to knock it in the back of the net, but this is the ball into Marco. That's the movement from Dzeko, that's the header, and that's why it's 1-0. Lovely ball in, brilliant movement. Took the defender out of it towards the near post, then goes central of the goals, and he gets the simplest of headers.
Lautaro Martinez about to be brought on here by Inzaghi, the World Cup winner. Robin Gosens could be coming on too.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they take off. Will it be Lukaku off? I would have thought they'd keep Dzeko on. Lautaro coming on.
Lobotka. There's that double change then. Will be a warm welcome here for Lautaro Martinez. Made 6 appearances at the World Cup, 4 of them as a sub. Came on for Alvarez in extra time in the final against France. He kept that record going as well of an Inter player participating in every World Cup final since 1982 by coming on in extra time. Di Marco, the man who got the assist for the goal, being replaced by Robin Gosens down this left-hand side. Big cheer for Lautaro Martinez. He's actually not been in the best form in front of goal, only 1 goal in his last 12 appearances for club and country.
Yeah, but I think what he brings to the attack, his legs and movement. I think him and Dzeko together are a good pairing.
Straight swap on the wing with Gosens replacing Di Marco. We are going to see 2 changes now by Spalletti. Probably not before time, 25 minutes to go. Chucky Lozano and Raspadori coming on. Zielinski, who's not had his most effective game in that midfield, is replaced, and a player you felt struggled throughout, Politano, coming off as well.
Yeah, I think he struggled first half, struggled second half. I thought he could have come off very early for Lozano, but Lozano's on, straight on that right-hand side. I think he'd give them a little bit more power down this right-hand side and a little bit more goal threat.
Bastoni. Çalhanoğlu. Surely Napoli fans ahead of today, after the first 15 games, wouldn't have been getting too carried away. They know it's a long season. Many past disappointments to keep them grounded too. With Milan and Juve already winning today, if they were to lose here at San Siro, just might start to, even this early after the restart, put a little bit of doubt in the minds of Spalletti and his players.
Well, that's the thing, when you're top of the league, you haven't lost a game. 1 defeat, when the pressure's on, can put a little bit of doubt back into your minds, but you have to say we've still got a good, 6-point lead over Milan, 5-point lead over Milan. So it's still in our hands, and there's still an awful long way to go, and they're good enough, this squad of players. Just got to be able to handle the moment. And they're still not out of this game yet.
Prodded forward by Mkhitaryan. Robin Gosens. It's going to be a corner. Last touch was off Di Lorenzo. Not played by the German international. Osimhen brought back to help defend this. Lautaro Martinez, one of those in the 6-yard box.
I have to say, every corner he's put in, Çalhanoğlu, he's put in that near post. It'd be better just bending it away from the keeper at the back post. Let Skriniar run round the back.
Says he's been training throughout the break for the World Cup. Çalhanoğlu did an interview where he said he's got a feeling, he couldn't really explain it, but he's got a feeling that Inter will win the Champions League this season, which is a big call, but they're in there in the round of 16.
Yeah, you always got a chance if you're the round of 16, but then all the other teams feel the same, and they've got a chance. Does that mean he's given up on Serie A? You just mentioned the Champions League.
I think he thinks they can win it all. It's a big gap that they've got to make up, but a win here tonight Would reduce it to 8 points on Napoli. It's Porto, by the way, that Inter have to come in the round of 16. Napoli have Eintracht Frankfurt. Gosens, Lautaro Martinez, Çalhanoğlu, Martinez, got a man over here and he's been picked out. It's Darmian who miscontrolled it. His first touch is better and he's in. Barella, cross blocked, but it could have been so much more there for Inter.
It should have been so much more for Darmian. It's a lovely overload down the right, just doesn't get to the ball in time, but they get the corner. At the moment they're dominating here. Inter, Napoli just can't get any possession, can't get out.
Just over 20 minutes to go on this huge night at San Siro as Serie A resumes. And Dzeko said it. The goal kick is given.
Yeah, the first out-swinging goal from the corner that we've had, and Dzeko just puts it wide. But all the pressure's on Spalletti, and what's he going to do? He's made 2 changes, he might have to make another at least.
Well, we've brought you 10 live games from Serie A today, more to come at the weekend. Another chance to see Inter in action at Monza. While Napoli go to Marassi to take on Sampdoria. We've also got the return of Golazzo Live with James Richardson and James Horncastle, Sunday 7 o'clock for that. The live game is again from San Siro. This time it's the champions in action, Milan against Mourinho's Roma. Another big potential blockbuster for us to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, if the score stays like this and Inter's able to get the 3 points here, it brings, obviously, Napoli back towards Milan and Juventus, Inter and Roma. We could have a sensational second half to the season in Serie A.
Skriniar. Gosens. Dzeko. Gosens. Look for Lautaro Martinez, the head of Ikim.
I think that's an impossible ball that Gosens is trying to play there. Should have just taken it on himself. Maybe tried to play a 1-2 or had the shot.
He's looked fired up since coming on. Gosens not been given too many chances by Inzaghi since his arrival from Atalanta. Did well in the recent friendlies, particularly the 1-1 draw with Real Betis. Robin Gosens. There have been reports in Italy that Leicester are interested in him. A couple of clubs from the Bundesliga as well, but he seems keen to stay with Inter and try and in that place on the left-hand side as Samir Handanovic watches on here. What a great figure he must be to have in the dressing room, even though he's lost his place as the number 1 to Onana now.
Yeah, but good to see him back fit as well. But Onana's the number 1 at the moment, but Handanovic has been a top-class goalkeeper here, isn't he? But I think he's still got a couple of years left in him. He can stay fit, but it might be as a number 2 rather than a number 1.
Nice touch by Di Lorenzo. Chucky Lozano. Will be Napoli's ball. League leaders behind here, can they rescue it? 37 goals in 15 games they've scored, Napoli. Average just under 2.5 a game, but they've rarely threatened Onana's goal. And a big surprise that for me tonight. Lack of threat from Napoli, lack of creativity at times as well.
Yeah, I think tactically that Inzaghi's got it spot on with Inter. But this game at 1-1, still in the balance, I have to say.
Inter hoping to claw back that lost ground in the second half of this season. They're 4 points worse off compared to the same stage of the previous campaign. It has gone the other way in that respect for Napoli. They're 5 points up. But the gap reduced by Milan today to 5 points, and it remained that way. Oliveira. Kvaratskhelia. They've had his number so far today.
They have. They doubled up on him a lot of the time, just forcing him back. He can't get on the front foot. They've got to keep trying to get the ball to him down that right-hand side, though.
Ramani. Raspadori lost it. Lautaro Martinez looked to prod it through for Dzeko, but he's never had the pace to get to that. He's pulled up here as well. It's such a cramp, it would seem.
Yeah, but Raspadori, who's come on for Zielinski, is giving the ball away 2 times in the middle of the park, and suddenly Inter on the counter. Correa's going to come on for Dzeko now, fresh legs.
This could be a really important thing for Inzaghi in the second half of the season, because he's not been able to call on all 4 of his centre-forwards, as he pointed out before this game, but now he's got them all fit. Lukaku, Dzeko, Lautaro Martinez, and now Joaquin Correa as well. If they stay fit, it could be really important in the second half of the season.
Well, it will be if they stay fit. It'll be really important, but you've got him as your main goal scorer. Lautaro Martinez, who hasn't been in great goal-scoring form, but could have a better second half of the season. Correa can get goals. Obviously, Lukaku will get through and get goals. Dumfries, who's going to come on, he can get your goals as well. So if they're going to have a go for the Champions League and push all the way for Serie A, you need all your top players fit.
The thing with Inter, that another thing to keep an eye on with them in the second half of the season, I don't think you ever worry that they'll score goals, but defensively they've been big problems for them this season. Not necessarily at San Siro. They've only conceded 4 goals at home. It's away from home where they've struggled. 18 goals they've conceded in 8 games away from home. It's a big problem that they need to rectify in the second half of the campaign.
Yeah, and that says to me that you've got to find a way away from home to actually get results, and that's what he's got to do in the second half of the season.
So Elmas has replaced Kvaratskhelia, Ongisa replaced by Ndombele, and credit to Inzaghi again from a tactical perspective. They've tried to neutralise the threat of Kvichva at Kvaratskhelia, and they've done it well.
They've done it very well. They've been very aggressive, not giving him space to run in to. He's been going back towards his own goal, and he's off, but he's only 21, he's learning, and he's got to learn that he's a marked man now.
He's contributed so much this season, the Georgian international. 16 goals in 17 appearances, 8 goals, 8 assists involved in all those goals, I should say. Lobotka. Still plenty of time here for Napoli. Lozano goes on the outside to Bastoni, and whipped in a great cross towards Osimhen. Correa saying there was a handball. The referee points to the chest. Oliveira. Elmas, good ball, and a chance to cross as well. Well defended by Bastoni, who just got in front of Osimhen. Lautaro Martinez, good ball. Inter are on their way here. Barella. Dumfries. Barella. Acerbi. Inter have won their last 3 home league games against Salernitana, Samp and Bologna. Napoli certainly a step up in class tonight. Could they see it through and make it 4 home wins in a row? It would be their biggest victory of the season so far in Serie A. Osimhen with a nice touch though. Raspadori forwards, look for Lozano. It's not clicking for Napoli in the final third, and we've not said that much this season.
No, we haven't, but it's a good run from Lozano to get in there. Raspadori, it's a poor ball. He's got to put some bend on it. He hasn't started well since he's come on, keeps giving the ball away, but they've got to go for it now, Napoli, and they're going to leave chances on the counter for Inter.
Interesting thing about Raspadori is that he grew up supporting Inter, boyhood fan of the Nerazzurri. Could he inflict some pain on them in what remains here? It's hard to overemphasise just how big this next 15 minutes or so is if we include the inevitable added time for Inter's entire season. If they can go on and win this, they've got to be considered challengers once more. Foul on Ndombele. It's a chance for Napoli to put one in the box here.
Yeah, it's good from Ndombele. As Correa just catches him on the ankle. It's a free kick, nothing more than that. But they've got to craft something out of this free kick, Napoli. So far, Inter have defended very well.
Just over 10 minutes of normal time to go. Could be a breathless final 10 minutes here. Napoli will perhaps look to pile on the pressure. It's dropped here for Osimhen. And now Di Lorenzo. Cleared by Bastoni. The back three for Inter have played well.
Yeah, they've kept their shape very well. The wing-backs obviously have changed now because they had to work so hard to try and defend and get forward. But it's a big 10 minutes, 15 minutes coming up here for Napoli. And they craft one chance, one golden opportunity.
Only had one shot on target so far tonight, Napoli. There's still just the one goal in this. Lobotka. Di Lorenzo couldn't win it in the air, and it's been kept in here by Mkhitaryan. Three beyond him. Martinez through the middle. And a great ball for Barella. Bit of a waste that from Mkhitaryan. Ghosts. Martinez.
I think he was offside in the first place, Lautaro. Just there, yeah. Brought back.
Frustrating night for Vice Kvaratskhelia. Gagliardini brought on here by Inzaghi as Inter look to see this out. He'll replace Mkhitaryan in the midfield.
Yeah, and what's surprised with that, Mkhitaryan was looking really leggy out there, giving the ball away. Worked very hard for the team without getting much of the ball, though.
I was saying the other day, he feels good right now physically, Gagliardini. Got 90 minutes in a friendly against Real Betis recently. Important role in the closing stages as Inter to keep what they have, which is at the moment a priceless lead. Ndombele driving forward though for Napoli. Correa. Lobotka trying to win it back. Pushed by Correa. Free kick Napoli.
Yeah, good play. Lobotka knew what he was doing, just gets his body between ball and player. Pushing the back, it's a free kick, but they need to craft something here. Napoli, they're pushing Inter back without really hurting them.
After Paris Saint-Germain lost in that cracking game in Ligue 1 recently against Lens, only a beaten team in the top 5 leagues, Napoli, but trailing and under pressure here. It's a foul there, the referee again says play on. Hear what the crowd think about it.
Barella will get a yellow card. He's been complaining all night. That's what lets him down at times. Very passionate player, quality player, but got to be in self-control as well.
Lobotka here, taken off by Spalletti. It's forward coming on for a defensively minded midfielder. Barella gets the decision from the referee, and it's a yellow card for Di Lorenzo.
Yeah, some very tired players out there now, working very hard, but Di Lorenzo getting a little bit frustrated as well.
Just over 5 minutes to go. A nervous 5 minutes ahead at San Siro. They could settle some of those nerves with a second here, though, Inter. Çalhanoğlu will swing it in. Way too much on it from the Turkish international.
Yeah, poor free kick, especially by his high standards.
Saying how decisive this game would be for Inter, how it would tell them a lot about the rest of the season, he said. Well, they're edging ever closer to a massive 3 points here. Give fresh hope to the rest of the chasing pack as well. Up towards Osimhen it went, and Onana came out quickly.
Yeah, Onana did well, covering his back three there with Osimhen chasing that one down.
Gosens. Gagliardini. Gosens. Correa. Good challenge by Elmas. Nice feet as well. Oh, brilliant. So well done that by Elmas. Napoli could be on their way here. Raspadori. Oh, that's about as cynical as you're going to get from Denzel Dumfries. You can understand why he's done it. I have to say, now, I don't know what you think about this, but I think this needs looking at in the game, because from a spectator's point of view, a neutral's point of view, that's just ruined it for me, that. I mean, you don't blame Dumfries, because in the rules you can understand why he's done it, but I think that needs looking at, I really do. Absolutely.
I think he's taken one for the team there on the counter. I remember a few seasons back when I was doing Bundesliga, a referee sent a player off for doing that in the Bundesliga, stopping a counter-attack. But it's a bit further up the pitch, but it is something that should be looked at, that's for sure.
As I say, you can totally understand why the player does that. I'm not criticising him for making that challenge. I just think that if we're to look at football as an entertainment business, well, that spoils the entertainment, doesn't it?
It does, but I'd have done exactly the same.
No, I would as well.
Yeah, but those are within the rules.
Foul on Correa.
Yeah, but this is what Inter want now. Stop-start game. Napoli need the ball down the other end, but Kim gets a yellow card for that challenge on Correa. Yeah, little kick in the thigh.
Gosens. Oh, that's a good ball. It was a fine defensive header as well to get it away. Time running out, though, on Napoli. Raspadori, this looks more promising for them. Inter looking to get numbers back. Raspadori initially wriggled away. He's gone down, the referee had a good view and said play on. He's tried to let the game flow as much as possible, Simone Sonsa. Less than 2 minutes to go. Charge forward by Kim, he's just overhit the pass, but it will be a corner, and there will be pressure here from Napoli.
That's really good play from Kim, bursting forward. Needed Osimhen to get on the end of that one, but it's a corner. All the big guys are up. Pressure building on Inter, keep it away from Manana.
Could they yet snatch a point here, Napoli? Needed to be better, the delivery.
You're absolutely right, you work so hard to get a corner, then you go and put it into the near post.
Almas. Di Lorenzo. Last minute of normal time. Oliveira. Simeone and Osimhen waiting in the middle. It's fallen nicely here, and Lozano hit one, and Simeone's in there. Oh, and a save by Onana. Ndombele. Real pressure here from Napoli. Cleared by Bastoni. Seconds remaining of normal time. Again, the referee says play on. Given away by Kim.
Well, that's got to be a free kick. The referee's waving play on. That's a terrible challenge. And what a good strike it was from Raspadori, but it was straight at the goalkeeper. Onana gets himself right behind it. Pushes it out. Really good save through a lot of players, this.
4 minutes of added time, a minimum of 4 minutes. Lozano. Oh, Napoli about to be beaten for the first time this season in Serie A. Or will there be some late drama? They do finish games strongly, Napoli. No Serie A side has scored more goals in the final 15 minutes this season. 10 times they've done that.
Yeah, but I have to say, Inter defending really well, getting blocks in, getting challenges in, pushing Napoli back.
Inter throw. Inzaghi's kicking every ball down there, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Some of the fans are kicking every ball as well, challenging for, shouting for every decision. But Inter just got to take their time on everything, get it down in the corners, waste a bit of time.
Remember, Napoli, not just 19 Serie A games unbeaten, but they'd won 11 in a row before this. And they've given away a free kick here deep inside their own half, as Inter just look to waste away valuable seconds. They're managing the game well here in Inzaghi's side. Absolutely,
and Lautaro doing exceptionally well, shielding the ball. And this is the save behind the goals. It's whipped in with pace from Raspadori, and Onana's right behind it, pushes it out to safety.
You don't get much more passionate than Inzaghi. Couple of minutes away from a huge victory here. Of course, they beat Napoli in this fixture last season. That was 3-2. Will one be enough this time? Acrobatic clearance by Osimhen. Anywhere will do for Skriniar.
Yeah, anywhere will do. Run down that clock, but I think Inter have won this, and they're going to move up to 4th above Lazio, 1 point behind Juventus. Big night for Inter and Inter fans.
What a title race we have coming up in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and we'll see what Napoli are made of. Adam, that's the big thing going forward.
Simeone couldn't win that final minute of the 4 that was added on. Napoli fans hoping for a last-ditch equaliser. Elmas. Poor from Raspadori. Çalhanoğlu just sends it forward. Hopefully there's nobody up there. Just seconds remaining at San Siro. Inter are on the brink here. Osimhen flicks it on, Lozano. Inter trying to scramble it away, and now they can counter. Barella. Lautaro Martinez. Kim nicks it off it. All eyes on the referee. They want the final whistle here as Gosens wins it back. And Napoli are no longer invincible. Edin Dzeko gets the winner. And in doing so, breathes new life into Inter's title challenge. A huge 3 points won by Inzaghi's side at San Siro. Finally, Napoli are beaten for the first time in Serie A since the 24th of April, and Inter are the side to inflict that defeat. What a performance, Nigel Spatman.
Well, it's a brilliant game, very tactical, but in the end I think Inter deserved to win this one. And Dzeko was the man with his movement, his goal-scoring ability, but a lovely ball in from Di Marco. But they said this was do or die for Inter. Well, they've done it, and they're back in the title race.
So let's look back at the best of the action then, which has always had the potential to be a blockbuster occasion tonight. Inter, Nigel, had so many good chances, didn't they, in that first half? This was one of them that came to Matteo Darmian, teed up by Dzeko.
Yeah, it was a lovely move. Good movement from Lukaku, finds Dzeko, just a lovely little depth layoff here for Darmian, but probably he's the last man that Inter wanted this to fall to. He's leaning back on it on the half volley, gets under the ball, over the top.
Well, this was in the final 5 minutes of the first half. Another Inter opportunity. This time it fell to Lukaku.
Yeah, but what awareness and skill from Barella. Beautiful touch. Lukaku on his right foot really just needs to hit the target. Leaning back on it, puts it over the top.
I thought Merat produced a wonderful save shortly after this. It was flagged as offside for Di Marco. I thought he looked about level. It would have been interesting had that gone to VAR. Lovely ball by Barella, great save Merat.
I'm not sure it was a pass from Barella. I think it's a shot and he just scuffs it, but it falls for Di Marco, who takes the touch. It's going to be very close if he'd scored it, gone to VAR, but what a save from Alex Merat.
Well, this is the goal that won it. Mkhitaryan with the pass really that started it off, but what a ball this is for Di Marco. And Edin Dzeko with a trademark bullet header.
Yeah, but the movement from Di Marco getting forward at the start of the second half is what's this all about. It's a wonderful ball in, but the movement from Edin Dzeko is superb. Any young striker, look at his movement. He's not the quickest, but he takes Romani towards the ball and then back in behind, and he's in the centre of the 6-yard box when he heads this in. It's all from his movement and his nous, but the ball from Di Marco was wonderful.
Nana produced an important save as well, with less than a minute of normal time to go as Napoli looked to put the pressure on. It was Raspadori with the shot. It was rather straight at him, wasn't it? But he still reacted well.
Yeah, he comes inside, opens it up on his right foot, but just can't find the corner. But they defended well into when called upon. But Raspadori here going for the far corner, but hits the centre of the goal. Good strong left arm, or right arm I should say, from Onana, keeps it out.
Well, there is the table there. You can see the significance of that victory tonight for Inter. It closes the gap on Napoli to 8 points. Had they lost tonight, it would have been 14 points, and they surely would have been out of the title race. They're certainly very much in it now. Juventus have won today, Milan have won today, so the three sides directly below Napoli have all won. Roma with a victory as well. Lazio, the only one other than Napoli of the top six to lose today. They've been reeled in a little bit, haven't they, Napoli, this evening? We have a title race on our hands, don't we? It could be a title race for the ages in Serie A this season. We hope you've enjoyed all 10 games live today as Serie A resumes. We'll be back again at the weekend, but from myself, Adam Summerton, and from Nigel Spatman as well. For now, it's goodbye.